Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So I want to get to the biggest story today, which was the San Antonio Spurs versus Minnesota Timberwolves game. And as you guys know, in that game, Victor Wembanyama was ejected out of the game for flagrant 2 foul that he had on Naz Reid. And it's become the number one talk. And I watched the game. The Spurs were able to take the lead, and ultimately they lost the lead after a late flurry in the fourth quarter for the Minnesota Timberwolves to now tie the series 2-2. But in the aftermath of that, everyone has been talking about whether or not that was the right decision for the officials to do to make that ejection. So I tuned into an episode today of First Take, and I saw Jay Williams and Kendrick Perkins on the show, and they ended up getting into a very heated argument on what took place in that game in terms of Victor Wembanyama getting ejected. And I thought it was a pretty good segment worth talking about. But before we even get into their exchange, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. All right, guys, the regular season is wrapped up and the NBA playoffs are finally here, and there's no better way to cash in on all of the high-flying hoop action than PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means when you're making lineups on PrizePicks. And here's something you didn't want to sleep on. PrizePicks has the Do It Live 2026 NBA Finals sweepstakes going on right now. Make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player pick during the playoffs, and you could win a trip for 2 to the NBA Finals. That alone is reason enough to check out PrizePicks right now. I've been making lineups on the Celtics and Lakers players, and it makes watching the playoffs so much more fun. It's simple. Just pick more or less on player projections across basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. You can even pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup with stacks. And if your picks get off to a hot start, cash out early with easy payouts before the game even ends. PrizePicks is now available in all 50 states. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. All right, perfect. So what we want to do is I want to play the sound for you guys. I want you guys to listen to their back and forth with one another, and I'm going to come back and I'll give you guys my take on it.
Yeah, he has a point. Look, maybe it's because I'm cut from an old school cloth in basketball. I've had over 28 stitches in my face. I've gotten bowled before from bigs and from guards. And granted, it hasn't come in playoff basketball, KP, but you know what happened when I got bowled in the face? One time by Shaq. My ass never went down there no more. I thought twice about it every time I went down there. I'm not condoning Wemby's actions, but I do think that sometimes we forget because of how sensitive our society is and how everything has to be catered to and extra delicate, and it was the wrong thing for him to do because he jeopardized his team. Yeah, he did. They got to win. They were up 2-1, and now Minnesota believes they can get a win, even though Minnesota had a chance to lose that game down the stretch without Wemby on the court. But at some point, as a grown man or as a player, you got to draw a line for yourself. And I'm not saying that it's automatically going to lead to Naz Reid not continuing to do that. But, Shaq did stuff like this. Michael Jordan did stuff like this. Isaiah Thomas did stuff like this. We had some of the best players in the game who had a nasty side to them because sometimes the moment called for it. So I'm not going to sit up here on national TV and tell y'all that, Mitch Johnson's wrong, because honestly, I believe he's right. Now, I don't want to see Wemby do that again and subject himself to being suspended from a game or multiple games. He has to be smart. But at some point, when you're getting pushed around all the time and you're getting punked, you're going to stand up for yourself. And I'm damn right happy he stood up for himself in the moment.
He's right. He's right. Jay, how's he's right? Give me a time throughout the course of this series that have we witnessed Wembanyama get a flagrant foul, meaning somebody hit him hard enough where they had to go review it. Name me one time. Name me one time.
That doesn't.
You can't. Don't even think. No. Hold on.
Are you asking me a question? Because if you ask me a question, I can engage back with you, brother.
Engage.
I'm trying to. Just because people don't call flagrant fouls doesn't mean that the game isn't physical. or there aren't things. KP, you've done a lot of things. I watch you play basketball. I studied tape of you. You've done a lot of things that weren't called for flagrant fouls.
That's fine.
But it doesn't mean that things weren't physical or you didn't see things inside the reins of fire that other teams didn't. What do you mean? Okay,
so Jay, let me ask you something. If Wemby is a center, right? Mm-hmm. He is a center, right? Mm-hmm. So you expect inside the paint that it's going to be some level of physicality. It's going to be some level of ruffling and getting your feet hot. You're going to tangle up with guys. Smaller guys are going to sit on your legs when they switch out. It's part of the game. I didn't know that was against the rules. I didn't know when you go up for a layup, you try to, give a person a nice hard foul. Wemby hasn't been a saint. Let's not act like Wemby don't initiate a lot of contact when he's running and he's sealing for low post position. I mean, come on now, what we talking about? Like, this is part of it. You're 7'7". You don't think that you're not going to get hit?
KP.
How many times we witnessed a LeBron James or Dwayne Wade get hit? What are we talking about, Jay?
KP.
I think that was a very, what's up?
You've had over 100 technical fouls in your career, brother. I would think if there's a person who is used to living in the trenches, if there's a person who sometimes felt slighted, if there was a person who sometimes did what he had to do that called for the moment, out of all the people on this show, I thought you would understand.
Understand what? I understand the level of physicality. Jay, let me tell you something. It was a moment where it was myself, Kevin Garnett, and Rasheed Wallace on the same squad. We led the damn league in technical fouls. It ranked 1, 2, and 3. And Doc Rivers, they asked Doc Rivers about, hey, Doc, can you stop Perk and KG and Rasheed from getting technical fouls? And you know what Doc said? No, that's who the hell they are. That's their identity. And it ain't coming out of my pocket when they get fined. I don't like those comments at that moment from Miss Johnson. I do not agree with that. Wemby has to know that this is going to come.
Great. So you heard what they had to say. What's my take on it? Some people are saying that Jay Williams sounds Bush League. How can you support something like this? I mean, the guy clocked him across the head and this and this and this and this and this and that. Look, was that a flagrant 2? Yeah. And by the letter of the law, Victor should have got tossed. By the letter of the law, he should have been tossed out of the game, which he was. Now, what I don't want to hear is anything beyond that. I don't want to hear anything about suspensions. I don't even want to hear anything about a fine. Do you know why? Because the punishment was already levied at Victor by ejecting him out of the game. And the Spurs ended up losing the game. So anything beyond that, I think is excessive. Anything beyond that, I think is excessive. And I don't want to hear any scenario in which Victor gets suspended for game 3. I don't want to hear that. I think that will be a catastrophic decision on the NBA's part if they suspended Victor Wembanyama for game 3. You can suspend Draymond Green because Draymond Green is nowhere near a star, never will be a star on the level of Victor Wembanyama. You don't suspend Victor, because then you'll now be costing the Spurs this series because of one play. That's craziness to me. And he's the brightest young star in the league. You're going to take him out of a series because of that after you already hit him with a flagrant 2 and that cost him the game? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's the playoffs. Elbows get thrown. It's a physical game. It's refereed differently. And they're playing physical with him. So if he threw an elbow, get off me. Get off me. Next time, don't be running down on me and being all touchy-touchy. Get off me. But my take is he's already been penalized because they took him out of the game and the Spurs lost. I don't think there should be any further discipline coming down the road. None whatsoever. I don't even think there should be a fine. I don't even think there should be a fine. I think that The fact that he was taken out of the game, you penalize him and the team right there, and they lost the game. You don't need to help Minnesota win other games in the series. No, I disagree with that. And I mean that. And people can feel how they want to feel about it. No, that's my take. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.